Well, I don't think they necessarily should have an advantage. What this bill really does is it allows the states to cross their borders and force out-of-state companies to become their unpaid tax collectors. And we don't think that's a fair level playing field. They have no political power in the states that are trying to force them to be the tax collector.
Mr. Cerasale, there is broad bipartisan support for the legislation at both the federal and the state level. The nation's governors say that the tax would provide much needed revenue at a time of steep cutbacks. Why shouldn't states be able to make up that lost revenue?
Oh, we think that we don't think that they shouldn't. We think that, however, that they should be forced to take their 1930 tax regime and simplify it to reduce the administrative burden and the huge costs of 46 state audits, etc., that will be placed upon many small and medium internet and even catalog businesses.
Sir, the bill's main sponsor is Senator Mike Enzi. He's a conservative Republican from Wyoming. He and Dick Durbin, a liberal Democrat from Illinois, say the bill doesn't raise taxes. It simply gives states a mechanism to enforce current taxes. How do you respond to that?
That's exactly true. That is true. But what it does do, it allows the states to force that tax collection across their borders on non-citizen companies for free. And we think that they need to simplify that and reduce that administrative burden.
Sir, how do you think they should go about then simplifying it and, as you say, reduce that burden?
Well, I think one thing is to compensate the companies for what they have to do. Have one single audit throughout the United States. It may be your home state and something of that sort, instead of having 46 states come knocking on the door to audit them. And I think that the bill does have a provision to say produce a software program, but the software program they want to produce only calculates the rate. It doesn't say calculate what that rate applies to. Some states will tax a Twix bar because it's a candy. Others won't tax it because it has flour and is therefore a food.
Sir, you just talked about auditing and maybe perhaps centralizing that auditing process. But as you know, a lot of people aren't fans of the federal government. A lot of people want the states to take more control over their finances and have more of a say. Wouldn't that be something that would be best left to the states?
Well, that's our view. It's not a federal audit. It would be the home state would do the audit. So, for example, a Texas company would be audited by Texas, a California company by California. We're not there for asking for the federal government to do those audits.
Sir, in many states, shoppers are required to pay unpaid sales taxes when they file state tax returns. But as you know, many people fail to comply. Won't the law encourage fairness in tax collection?
Well, I think what it does is force the retailer to become the unpaid collector. What the state should do is put more money into forcing collection of those use taxes. And you could do that by paying the out-of-state retailer, paying the administrative cost of the out-of-state retailer to be their tax collector.
Mr. Cerasale, this legislation would, in effect, reverse a 1992 Supreme Court decision that was from the mail order catalog era. The court prevented states from applying sales taxes to transactions with sellers that lacked a physical presence in their states. Hasn't that ruling given online retailers an unfair advantage over stores like, say, Walmart and Williams-Sonoma?
I don't think it has because Walmart, Williams-Sonoma, when they're in their states, they have political power to deal with the state auditors. The out-of-state marketer does not. And this bill also applies to catalogs. It's not just online retailers. So many catalogers that are still out there getting checks, even some of them, would be covered by this as well.